Gregory Vaughn walked slowly down the hotel hallway. His feet hurt from standing all day at the space business meeting. As the boss of Stellar Dynamics, he had to talk to many important people. Now all he wanted was to sleep in his expensive room. Then he heard crying, a soft sound that made him stop. Around the corner, he saw a young woman in a hotel worker uniform. She was talking on a small, glowing phone. Tears ran down her face. "Please," she said into the phone, "I need more time to pay. My mother will die without this treatment. The hospital says they won't start until I pay everything first." She noticed Gregory watching her. Quickly, she wiped her eyes and stood up straight. Her name tag said Lily. "I'm very sorry, sir," she said, trying to sound calm. "I'll get out of your way right now." She ended her call and started to walk away. "Wait," Gregory said. He surprised himself by speaking. "Is everything okay?" Lily looked unsure about telling her problems to such an important hotel guest. She took a deep breath. "It's my mother, sir. She had an accident and needs special brain treatment. The public hospital has an 18-month waiting list. The doctors say she doesn't have that long to wait." Gregory nodded. He had heard stories like this before. People who worked on space stations couldn't afford the best Earth treatments. "How much does this treatment cost?" he asked. 60,000 credits, Lily said, looking at the floor. "I've been working double shifts for 3 years. I only have 20,000 saved. Today they told me they need full payment before they'll help her." Gregory felt doubts rise in his mind. How many people had asked him for money with sad stories? But something about Lily seemed honest. Her eyes showed pride, not the trick of someone trying to get easy money. "I should get back to work. Sir, I'm sorry you had to see that." As she turned to leave, Gregory made a choice that would change both their lives forever. "Meet me in the lobby tomorrow at 8:01 in the morning," he said in a quiet voice. "I might have an offer for you." That night, Gregory couldn't sleep. He thought about Lily and her mother. He remembered 20 years ago when he was just a worker on a mining ship. His young daughter got very sick. The company he worked for wouldn't pay to send her to a doctor. A rich passenger, who was actually a business rival of Gregory's boss, paid for the treatment anyway. "Sometimes the universe gives us chances to make things right," the man had told Gregory. His daughter lived. Gregory worked hard, saved money, and built his own company. Now he was one of the richest people in the space business, but he never forgot that moment when a stranger helped him. The next morning, Gregory sat in the Grand Hotel lobby. The room had huge clear windows that showed Earth below and stars above. He drank real coffee, which was very expensive even in this fancy place, while checking business reports on his small computer. At exactly 8 Kaung, Lily arrived. She wore normal clothes now, not her work uniform. Simple but clean. She walked over to his table, looking nervous. "Please sit down," Gregory said, pointing to the chair across from him. "Have you eaten breakfast?" "Yes, sir," Lily said. But her stomach made a small noise that told the truth. Gregory called a waiter over. "Bring us the full breakfast, please." He turned back to Lily. "I've been thinking about your problem." Lily looked tense. She probably thought he would suggest something wrong or just offer empty words. "I need a personal assistant," Gregory said. Lily looked surprised. "Someone who knows how to be private, works hard, and understands the space station system. My current assistant is leaving next month. The job pays 90,000 credits each year, with health benefits that cover family members too." Lily's eyes got wide. "Mr. Vaughn, I don't have the right education for a job like that. I've never... Yesterday you kept your calm despite your personal problems. Today you arrived exactly on time even though you're clearly very tired. You didn't immediately ask me for money when I showed interest in your situation." Gregory leaned forward. "Those qualities are harder to find than any school degree." The waiter brought a big tray of food. Gregory saw how Lily looked at it but still didn't eat. "There's one condition," Gregory continued. "I need someone I can trust completely. This isn't charity, it's business. I'll pay for your mother's medical costs now, and you'll pay it back from your future pay. In return, I expect total loyalty and excellent work." Lily finally looked directly into his eyes. Why would you do this for someone you don't know? Gregory thought about the question seriously. 20 years ago, I was just a maintenance worker on a mining ship. My daughter got a rare sickness. The company I worked for wouldn't approve emergency travel to a medical center. A passenger who competed with my employer arranged treatment anyway. He said the universe sometimes offers chances to balance things out. He pushed a contract tablet across the table. Your mother will go to New Hope Medical Center tomorrow morning. The treatment will start right away. Lily stared at the tablet, then back at Gregory. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Then we'll both have made a mistake, Gregory said simply. But I don't think we will. Lily slowly took the tablet. She read every word of the contract, her hands shaking slightly. Then she pressed her thumb on the signature line. The tablet glowed green, showing the contract was complete. Thank you, she said. Her voice was steady now. I won't let you down. I know, Gregory said. Now eat your breakfast. Tomorrow we start work, and it's going to be a busy day. As they ate, Gregory felt something he hadn't felt in years, the satisfaction of doing something truly good. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but he had a feeling that hiring Lily would turn out to be one of the best decisions he'd ever made. In the weeks that followed, Gregory's feeling proved right. Lily learned quickly, worked harder than anyone, and brought new ideas to the company. Her mother's treatment began working, and Lily moved to better living quarters. But neither of them knew that soon they would face a bigger challenge than a sick mother or a busy company. Something was happening. At the Arcturus mining colony, something that would test them both in ways they couldn't imagine. 3 months passed quickly. Lily proved to be better at her job than Gregory could have hoped. She organized his meetings perfectly, learned the business fast, and spotted problems before they grew big. Her understanding of how regular station workers thought had already saved the company from 2 public relations disasters. Lily's mother was getting better with the treatment. Lily had moved from the cramped worker quarters to a nice apartment in the section where company leaders lived. Everything was going well until the day the Arcturus problem started. Mr. Vaughn, we have a problem, Lily said, walking into Gregory's office without knocking. She only did this during emergencies. The Arcturus mining colony has gone silent. Gregory looked up from his desk with a frown. Is it a problem with their communication system? That's what everyone is saying officially. But I just got this message from my friend who works in Central Communications. She showed him a message on her tablet. The station received 3 emergency signals before all contact stopped. The government is keeping it secret. Who in the government? Gregory asked. United Earth Government. Specifically the Colonial Defense Department. Gregory felt a chill run through his body. Arcturus was Stellar Dynamics' newest and most profitable operation, an asteroid rich in valuable minerals that his company had fought hard to get mining rights for. More importantly, 200 families lived and worked there. Show me the emergency messages they sent. The first 2 were standard emergency codes, but the third contained a short message. They're not rocks. They're... Then it cut to static. What does that mean? Lily asked. Gregory thought quickly about what it could be. Get me a secure line to Admiral Fletcher. 10 minutes later, he was arguing with his old school friend from Naval Academy. It's classified, Greg. I can't tell you anything, the Admiral said on the screen. Those are my people up there, Jack, 200 families. The Admiral's face grew hard. And potentially the first contact situation we've been preparing for since what happened at the Mars dig. The rules are clear. What was found on Mars? Lily asked later after the Admiral ended the call suddenly. Gregory wasn't sure if he should tell her. Few people knew about the discovery under the Mars colony. Old technology clearly not made by humans. The government had kept everything secret, but rumors still spread. Something that changed how we see our place in the universe. He finally answered. And it seems something similar has been found at Arcturus. Lily studied his face. They're not sending a rescue team, are they? No. They're sending a containment team. Lily's expression changed from worry to determination. Then we need to send our own team. That would be against direct government orders. Yes, she agreed simply. It would. 3 hours later, Lily came back with detailed plans. She had found a small scout ship that wasn't being used anymore but still worked. She also found 3 former military workers on the station who were willing to help, no questions asked. "How did you put this together so quickly?" Gregory asked, amazed. Lily smiled. "You hired me because I know the station network. This is what that looks like in real life." The next day, they prepared to leave. Gregory moved as much money as he could to private accounts. He knew the government might freeze his company's assets when they discovered what he was doing. Stellar Dynamics might not survive this, he told Lily as they secretly boarded the small ship. But those families deserve a chance. The 3 volunteers Lily had found were already on board: Diana Ortiz, a former Colonial Marines pilot; Keith Donovan, a medical specialist with combat experience; and Paul Jackson, a communications expert. "We're taking a big risk," Diana said as she prepared to pilot the ship. "The government doesn't like when civilians interfere in military operations." "I know," Gregory said. "Anyone who wants to stay behind can do so. No hard feelings." No one moved. They all had their reasons for helping. For some, it was the money Gregory offered. For others, it was the chance to do something that mattered. They named their ship Second Chance. Paul helped them slip away from the station during a scheduled trash removal operation. This would hide them from sensors for a while. The journey to Arcturus would take 4 days at top speed. 4 days during which Earth authorities would certainly discover their unauthorized departure. "Once they find out what we've done, they'll freeze your assets," Lily warned as they moved away from the station's sensor range. Gregory nodded grimly. "I've already moved what I could." On the 3rd day, they received their first message from Arcturus, a weak, broken transmission that Paul managed to improve. "Crystal structures are changing the environment, changing the molecular makeup of," Static interrupted. "Not attacking, but integrating. Humans who've made direct contact are different now. They say they're still themselves, but better, enhanced. They want us to join." The message stopped. "That doesn't sound like an attack," Diana noted from the pilot's seat. "No," Gregory agreed. "It sounds like something potentially worse." Keith looked up from the medical station. "What's worse than an attack?" "Being absorbed," Gregory answered. "Losing what makes us human." Lily had been quiet, thinking about the transmission. But what if it's not loss? What if it's evolution? The message said they still consider themselves human. "That's what worries me," Gregory replied. "How would we know the difference between willing change and mind control?" When they arrived at Arcturus, the mining colony looked intact but changed. Crystal-like structures had grown over parts of the facility, glowing with an inner blue light that pulsed in patterns that reminded Gregory of brain activity. Through the windows, they could see people moving around, apparently unhurt, doing their jobs but occasionally touching the crystal growths in a way that suggested communication. "No signs of people in trouble," Diana reported. "Life support systems working normally, no damage from fighting." "They're calling us," Paul announced, sounding surprised. The face that appeared on the communication screen was familiar to Gregory. Nathan Cooper, the man in charge of Arcturus colony. Except his eyes now had a subtle glow, and fine, nearly transparent crystal patterns traced along his temples. "Gregory Vaughn," Nathan smiled. "We expected the government to respond, not you personally. This is a nice surprise." "We came to help," Gregory said carefully. "Are you and the colonists safe?" "We've never been better," Nathan replied, his expression peaceful. "What we've discovered here, what has discovered us, it's beyond anything we imagined. Not aliens as we expected, but a silicon-based intelligence evolved to combine with other life forms. They've been sleeping in these asteroids for thousands of years, waiting for compatible minds. They've changed you," Lily observed. Nathan nodded. "Enhanced us. Our thinking abilities, our connection to each other, even our health, all improved. Without loss of identity or free will. We're still human, just more." "And everyone chose this willingly?" Gregory pressed. "All adults, yes. We've kept the children unchanged until they're old enough to decide for themselves." Gregory exchanged glances with his crew. We'd like to come aboard and see for ourselves. Of course, Nathan agreed readily. We have nothing to hide. As they prepared to dock with the colony, Gregory felt both fear and curiosity. What they would find inside might change everything they knew about humanity's place in the universe. The inside of Arcturus colony looked both familiar and strange. The hallways and rooms were the same as any mining station, but blue crystal growths covered parts of the walls and ceilings. The crystals gave off a soft light that pulsed in slow, regular patterns. Gregory, Lily, Diana, Keith, and Paul walked through the main corridor. Colony workers nodded and smiled at them as they passed. Everyone looked healthy and calm, but all the adults had the same subtle changes Nathan showed. Eyes with a faint glow and thin crystal lines on their skin. This way to the meeting room, Nathan said, leading them. The children are in the education center if you want to see them later. In the meeting room sat 4 other colony leaders. They all had the crystal patterns too, but each person's pattern was unique, like a fingerprint. Please sit, Nathan said. You must have many questions. What exactly are these crystal beings? Gregory asked, getting right to the point. A woman, with red hair, answered. Her name tag read, Dr. Alice Ward, Science Officer. We call them the Lumina, Alice explained. They're a silicon-based life form that evolved in these asteroids billions of years ago. They're not individual creatures like us. They're a network, a collective mind spread through crystal structures. Are they controlling you? Keith asked. Bluntly. Alice smiled. No, it's a partnership. They share our minds but don't control them. Think of it like having a second brain that works with your first one. Can we scan you? Keith asked, holding up his medical device. For comparison, with normal human readings, once of course, Nathan agreed. We want you to understand what's happening here. Keith scanned Nathan, Alice, and the other colony leaders. Lily watched the readouts over his shoulder. Their brain activity is off the charts, Keith muttered. But it doesn't look like any mind control pattern I've seen. Because it's not control, Alice said. It's enhancement. The Lumina share their processing power with us. They think differently than humans do. Together we can solve problems neither of us could alone. Show us, Gregory said. Nathan nodded and led them to the colony's research lab. There, workers were studying problems that had stumped Earth scientists for decades. New energy systems, better space travel methods, medical treatments for diseases thought incurable. We've made more progress in 3 months than Earth has in 20 years, Alice said proudly. What did the Lumina get from this? Lily asked. It was the first time she had spoken since they arrived. Connection, Nathan answered. They were alone for billions of years. They're made to connect with other minds. Without that, they sleep. Paul, who had been quiet until now, asked, How did this start? You were a normal mining colony. Then what happened? Nathan led them to a large window overlooking the mining area. We found unusual crystal formations in a new section. When our geologist touched one, it responded to her. After she explained what happened, others tried it too. It was always a choice. And everyone chose to connect? Gregory asked, finding that hard to believe. Not everyone at first, Alice admitted. Some were afraid. But when they saw the benefits and understood there was no loss of self, most changed their minds. A few chose to leave before full integration happened. We arranged transport back to Earth for them. Did they reach Earth? Diana asked. We don't know, Nathan said. Communications were cut shortly after that. We think the government intercepted them. That matched what Gregory knew about how the government would handle this situation. Contain, control, study, those would be the priorities. Let us talk privately, Gregory said. Nathan nodded and left them alone in the research lab. Thoughts? Gregory asked his team once Nathan was gone. The medical scans are fascinating, Keith said. Their brains show increased activity in all areas. Better than any enhancement drug I've ever seen. And their bodies are healthier too, signs of cellular repair I've never seen before. But is it really them? Diana asked. Or are they just puppets saying what the crystals want them to say? I don't think they're puppets, Lily said slowly. Each person we've met still has their own personality. They aren't all speaking with one voice. Paul nodded. The communication systems here have been modified with crystal tech. It's far more advanced than anything I've seen. But the improvements follow the same logic a human engineer would use, just better. Gregory paced the room. What about the children? Nathan said they aren't connected to the Lumina. We should see them, Lily suggested. Nathan took them to the education center. About 30 children of different ages were there. None had crystal patterns. They looked like normal, healthy kids. They played, studied, and laughed like children anywhere. The children can talk to the Lumina through the wall panels if they want to, Nathan explained. But they won't be offered integration until they're 18 and can make their own choice. An older girl, about 16, approached them. Are you from Earth? She asked. Yes, Gregory answered. We came to see if everyone here is okay. The girl nodded. My parents are both integrated. They're still my parents. They still love me. They just know more stuff now. She sounded completely sincere. Later, as they ate dinner with the colony leaders, Paul received an urgent message on his communicator. He showed it to Gregory. Admiral Fletcher says the military fleet will arrive in 12 hours, Paul whispered. Their orders are to neutralize the threat by any means necessary if they can't contain it. Gregory felt his stomach drop. Neutralize meant destroy the colony if they couldn't control it. We need to talk to Fletcher, he told Paul. Get me a secure line. In his private room, Gregory spoke with Admiral Fletcher. Jack, you need to reconsider, Gregory urged. This isn't an invasion or infection. It's a partnership. These people are still human. That decision isn't mine to make, the Admiral responded. Too many people fear what they don't understand. The government is under pressure to act. Give me time to find another solution, Gregory pleaded. You have 12 hours, Fletcher said before ending the call. Gregory gathered his team and the Quando colony leaders to explain the situation. We need to convince Earth that you're not a threat, Gregory told Nathan. That you're still human, just evolved. How? Alice asked. They won't listen to us. Lily had been thinking deeply. Now she looked up with determination in her eyes. We need to make them see themselves in you, she said. Not as something alien, but as what humanity could become. We have 12 hours to change minds across the solar system, Gregory said. Let's get to work. The next few hours were a rush of activity. Gregory, Lily, and the colony leaders worked on a plan to show Earth that the Lumina were not dangerous. Paul set up the colony's communication system to broadcast a message to all Earth stations and colonies. We need to show real benefits, Gregory said to the group gathered in the colony's main meeting room. Things that will make people want this partnership, not fear it. Lily nodded. And we need to show that you're still human, that you still care about the same things. Nathan looked thoughtful. We should start with medical advances. Everyone cares about health. Good idea, Gregory agreed. Dr. Ward, what medical breakthroughs have you made with Lumina Help? Alice pulled up a screen showing medical data. We've found treatments for 5 diseases that Earth doctors can't cure, including radiation sickness and space bone loss. Perfect, Gregory said. People will understand that right away. Next, they gathered scientists and engineers to show their work on new energy systems and space travel improvements. These people explained how the Lumina helped them think in new ways. The Lumina don't give us answers, explained an engineer named Ben. They help us see problems differently. They show us angles we wouldn't think of on our own. While the adults prepared their parts of the message, Lily spent time with the children. She recorded them talking about their parents and life in the colony. My mom is still my mom, said a small boy. She still makes me eat vegetables and do my homework. She just knows more cool stuff now. A teenage girl added, My dad has crystal patterns, but he still tells bad jokes and worries about me dating boys. She rolled her eyes, but with obvious affection. Time was running out. 8 hours had passed, and they only had 4 more until the military fleet arrived. Gregory checked with Paul about the broadcast system. We can reach every major station and settlement in the system, Paul confirmed. The question is, will they listen? They'll listen, Gregory said with more confidence than he felt. The real question is, will they believe? Nathan approached Gregory with a serious look. There's something else you should see. He led Gregory and Lily to a quiet room where a large crystal formation grew from the center of the floor to the ceiling. The blue light inside pulsed in complex patterns. This is the main Lumina node, Nathan explained. The center of their consciousness. They want to speak with you directly. Gregory looked surprised. How? Touch the crystal, Nathan said. They won't connect fully without your permission. They'll just share thoughts. Gregory hesitated, then placed his hand on the crystal surface. It felt warm and seemed to vibrate slightly under his palm. Suddenly, his mind filled with images and feelings. Not words exactly, but clear concepts. The Lumina showed him their history, billions of years of slow growth and thought, their discovery of the humans mining their home, their initial fear, then curiosity, their desire for connection after eons of isolation. The Lumina showed Gregory what they hoped for, not to take over humanity, but to grow together, to help humans reach their potential, while humans helped the Lumina experience life in new ways. When Gregory pulled his hand away, he was shaking slightly. Are you okay? Lily asked, concerned. Yes, Gregory said. They're ancient and lonely and curious about us. He looked at Nathan. They truly don't want to control humanity, do they? No, Nathan confirmed. They want partnership. But they understand human fear of the unknown. They will accept whatever decision Earth makes, even if it means retreating back into sleep. Lily reached out hesitantly toward the crystal. May I? When she touched it, her eyes widened. After a moment, she stepped back. They showed me my mother, she said quietly. They know about her illness. They believe they could help heal her completely, not just treat her symptoms. They can see into your memories? Gregory asked, concerned. Not all of them, Lily explained. Just what was at the front of my mind. My mother has been my biggest worry. Gregory checked his watch. 3 hours left. As they left the room, Gregory's communicator buzzed. It was Admiral Fletcher. Jack, we need more time, Gregory said immediately. I can't give you more time, Fletcher replied. His face looked grim on the small screen. But I might be able to slow things down a little. The fleet commander owes me a favor. I can ask him to approach cautiously and do a full sensor sweep before taking action. That might buy you an extra hour. Thanks, Jack, Gregory said, grateful for even this small help. Don't thank me yet, Fletcher warned. And Greg, be careful. Whatever you're planning, make it good. A lot of scared people are making decisions right now. The communication ended and Gregory turned to Lily. Let's finish the broadcast plan. They returned to the main room where the colony members were ready to record their parts of the message. Everyone had a role. Scientists, engineers, doctors, teachers, parents, even the older children. We should start the broadcast when the military fleet is close enough to see it too, Paul suggested. Maximum impact that way. Gregory nodded, then addressed the group. I want to thank all of you for your courage. No matter what happens today, you've shown me what humanity could become. Nathan smiled. We still have one question for you and your crew, Gregory. If we survive this, would you consider joining us? Becoming part of the Lumina partnership? Gregory looked at Lily and his other crew members. I don't know, that's a very personal choice. Of course, Nathan agreed. Just know that the offer is open. We believe choice is essential. 2 hours later, the military fleet appeared on the colony's long-range sensors. 6 large ships, heavily armed, approached in a standard attack formation. They're not even trying to hide their intentions, Diana observed grimly. It's time, Gregory said. Paul, start the broadcast. Nathan stepped in front of the camera. The broadcast began with his calm face looking out at the solar system. People of Earth and the colonies, my name is Nathan Cooper, administrator of Arcturus Mining Colony. We have an important message to share with you today. What you are about to see may seem strange, but we ask only that you watch with an open mind. The broadcast switched to Dr. Alice Ward, who began explaining the medical breakthroughs. After her, Other colony members took their turns. Each showed what the human Lumina partnership had achieved. Parents talked about their children. Artists showed new forms of expression. Finally, it was Gregory's turn. He stood before the camera, his face serious. "My name is Gregory Vaughn. I am fully human, with no Lumina integration. I came here to rescue these people. Instead, I found that they don't need rescue. They have found a new path for humanity, not to replace who we are, but to enhance what we can become." As the broadcast continued, everyone watched the approaching military fleet and waited to see if their message would change the course of human history. The military fleet slowed its approach as the broadcast spread across the solar system. On the command ship, Admiral Fletcher watched with growing interest. He had known Gregory for many years. If Greg believed these changed humans were still human, that meant something. Back on the colony, Gregory finished his part of the broadcast. Lily stepped up next. "My name is Lily Carter. 3 months ago, I was a hotel maid. Today, I help run one of the biggest companies in space. I'm standing here, fully human, telling you that what I've seen here is not something to fear." She spoke, clearly and with feeling. "I came here ready to fight to save these people. But they don't need saving. They need understanding. They are still people, parents who love their children, workers who do their jobs, humans who laugh and cry and hope just like us." After Lily, the children spoke. They talked about their lives in the colony, how their parents were still their parents despite the crystal patterns on their skin. As the broadcast continued, messages began pouring in from across the solar system. Regular people watching were asking questions, sharing the broadcast, discussing what it meant. News stations picked up the signal and spread it further. In government offices on Earth, emergency meetings formed. Scientists debated what they were seeing. Military leaders argued about what action to take. The fleet commander contacted Admiral Fletcher. "Sir, I'm getting conflicting orders. Some officials want us to continue the mission. Others want us to wait." "Hold position for now," Fletcher advised. "Let's see how this plays out." On the colony, Gregory received a message from one of his company directors. "The broadcast is working," the message said. "Public opinion is shifting. People are fascinated, not just afraid." 3 of Earth's top scientists sent questions for the colony's integrated researchers. They asked about the Lumina, how the partnership worked, what changes happened to human biology. Dr. Alice Ward answered these questions live, showing brain scans and explaining the process in simple terms anyone could understand. "The crystal structures create a second neural network that works with our brain," she explained. "It doesn't replace human thought. It adds a new dimension to it." More questions came in. The colony team answered them all honestly. When they didn't know an answer, they said so. This honesty seemed to help their case. The military fleet remained in position, neither advancing nor retreating. 2 hours passed. Gregory checked with Paul about the broadcast's reach. "It's everywhere," Paul reported. "Every station, every colony. Even remote research outposts are picking it up." Another hour passed. Gregory received a call from Admiral Fletcher. "The government is divided," Fletcher said quietly. "But public opinion is strongly against any military action. Too many people have seen the broadcast. They're seeing humans, not aliens." "What happens now?" Gregory asked. "A delegation is being formed," Fletcher replied. "Scientists, government officials, military observers. They want to come to the colony and see for themselves." Gregory looked at Nathan, who nodded. "Tell them they're welcome," Gregory said. The next 3 days were busy. The delegation arrived, 20 people from different parts of the Earth government. They scanned, questioned, and observed the colony and its people. Most were cautious at first, but as they saw the benefits of the Human-Lumina partnership, many became interested rather than fearful. On the 4th day, the delegation's leader, a respected scientist named Dr. Howard Rivera, gave his preliminary report. "The Lumina-human integration appears to be symbiotic, not parasitic," he stated. "The human hosts maintain their individuality and free will. The benefits are substantial. We recommend further study under controlled conditions but see no need for military action. Not everyone agreed. Some military leaders still wanted to destroy the colony. Some religious leaders called the integration unnatural. But with public opinion strongly supporting the colonists, these voices were in the minority. A week after the broadcast, the Earth government made their decision. The Arcturus colony would be placed under observation, but allowed to continue. No one else would be forced to integrate with the Lumina, but those who chose to would be allowed. Gregory and Lily sat in the colony's observation dome, watching the stars. The crisis had passed, but big questions remained. "What will you do now?" Lily asked Gregory. "Your company survived, but things will never be the same." Gregory nodded. "Stellar dynamics will become the bridge between traditional humans and integrated ones. There's so much to learn, so much potential to explore." "And what about you personally?" Lily asked. "Will you integrate with the Lumina?" Gregory looked thoughtful. "Not yet, maybe someday. For now, I think it's important to have people on both sides who understand each other. What about you?" Lily smiled. "I want to bring my mother here. The Lumina believe they can heal her completely. After that, I'm considering it." "Whatever you decide, you'll always have a place at Stellar Dynamics," Gregory assured her. "Even if I have crystal patterns on my face?" Lily asked with a small smile. "Especially then," Gregory said. "The future will need people who can walk in both worlds." 2 months later, Gregory stood in his office on the main space station. Through the window, he could see a ship arriving, the first official transport bringing volunteers who wanted to integrate with the Lumina. Lily entered the office. Fine crystal lines now traced patterns on her temples and hands. Her eyes had the subtle glow of the integrated. "How does it feel?" Gregory asked. "Hard to describe," Lily said. "Like having a second perspective on everything, like seeing more colors in a world that was already colorful." "And your mother?" Lily smiled brightly. "Completely healed. She's decided to stay human for now, but she's fascinated by what I can show her." Gregory nodded, looking back at the arriving ship. "We're at the beginning of something big, aren't we? A turning point for humanity." "Yes," Lily agreed. "But isn't that what humanity does best? We adapt, we change, we grow." As they watched the ship dock, Gregory thought about the night he had found Lily crying in the hotel hallway. One small act of kindness had led to this moment. He remembered what he had been told 20 years ago, when a stranger helped his daughter. The universe occasionally offers opportunities to balance its scales. Perhaps this was another such opportunity. A chance for humanity to grow beyond its limits while keeping what made it human. "What happens next?" Lily asked. "We build bridges," Gregory said. "Between the old and the new, between human and Lumina, between who we were and who we might become." The future would have challenges, Gregory knew. Change always did. But for the first time in years, he felt truly hopeful about humanity's path forward. It had taken a crisis to show him that humans were still capable of choosing compassion over fear, growth over stagnation, understanding over prejudice. And it had all begun because a tycoon saw a young maid crying in a hotel hallway and chose to help.